Live from the KATC TV3 studios, this is Acadiana's News Channel at 6.
If something is not done real soon, then the next time someone's going to come out here, they're going to be picking up someone in a body bag, or they're going to come out here to put out a fire.
A Lafayette man is fighting to clean up blighted properties in his neighborhood. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Blighted properties are becoming a growing eyesore in dozens of Lafayette Parish neighborhoods. It's an ongoing battle for the city to hold property owners accountable. One house on Patton Street off of North Washington is boarded up and the yard is overgrown. Neighbors say they reported the issues, but sometimes it takes months before the properties are cleaned up. KATC's Chris Welty finds out what the city is doing to clean up these neighborhoods.
The thick brush swallows this home on Patton Street. It has been vacant for years, a black eye for the neighborhood.
It's a fire hazard, and they have people that walk the railroad tracks day in and day out and looking for shelter. It's just not safe.
This neighbor didn't want to go on camera, but says he's seen people breaking in. Although the house is boarded up, it's still a hazard.
Somebody can come in and remove the boards, completely off the window or the doors and get access to the house. The other concern, what else would be somebody sleeping on the front porch, accidentally setting a fire.
To give you an idea of how overgrown this yard is, I'm 6'2" and the weeds tower over me, reaching the roof of the abandoned home. Once notified, homeowners have 90 days to comply and fix violations. Randy Viator with Planning and Code says it's a long process before homes can be condemned.
If it's condemned, we can demolish the house and you have an empty lot. But we also put a lien on the property.
Viator says the challenge is getting families to take responsibility for inherited property. Less than a block away from the home on Patton Street lives relatives responsible for maintenance. Have y'all thought about going out there and...
Nah, I ain't going out there.
Why is that?
I'm not going out there.
In Lafayette, Chris Welty, KATC TV3.
Now, once grass grows more than 12 inches, it can be reported to the Department of Environmental Quality. Inspectors are sent out, and it could take several weeks before that yard is cleaned up. Mark Pope with LCG says they cut the grass at the home on Patton Street in early June. Pope says summer is the busiest time, and it's difficult to keep up.
We're not a lawn service. We do understand, though, the situation of a neighbor who has to live next to a blighted property. But when things slow down, when we get out of this, the summer months, we will go back and look at those properties and try to be as proactive as we can.
Now, Pope says a work order has been filed for that home on Patton Street, and they plan to get to it within the next few weeks.
And the Department of Public Works is also reminding Lafayette homeowners about excess yard waste. Many residents put items like branches to the curb, and in many areas those items are stacking up at the curb, causing a hazard to drivers. Residents are reminded yard waste is picked up once a week with your trash, but be mindful of how much may be piled up on the roadway.
Here's Rob's 24-hour forecast.
Big heat across the area today, but a change in the air. We see that on our radar satellite composite. Showers and strong thunderstorms from central Louisiana edging into eastern Louisiana. A severe thunderstorm warning this hour for portions of Point Coup Parish. Activities dropping to the southeast, and we're going to keep rain chances overnight tonight at about 30%. There may be some thunderstorm activity as early as 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, good chance of showers and thunderstorms, chance of getting wet at 60%. And that'll keep our highs in the upper 80s with locally heavy downpours and gusty winds. Drier air on the way later this week. We'll talk more about that, plus the latest on the tropical disturbance in the Northwest Caribbean. That's in just a few short minutes.
All right, Rob, thanks. Well, after last week's train derailment, a second test of the Lawtell water system shows the water meets EPA standards and is safe to drink.
DHH officials say even though the town's water was safe last week, residents were still concerned that chemicals seeped into the water system. DHH officials went back to Lawtell on Friday to collect more samples. They say the results show no chemicals entered the town's water system. But there's still major concern in that area over the chemicals that spilled after last week's train derailment.
Residents in Lawtell say they're seeing an unusual residue in the waterways. Our Allison Bourne-Vanek went straight to the source. She joins us live in studio. Allison, what'd you find there?
Jim, it was very clear today there's some sort of film or residue drifting along Bayou Mallet, and residents want to know exactly what it is. One resident showed me this residue flowing along his property. He says the Department of Homeland Security and officials from the parish government came today to check it out and promised someone from the Department of Environmental Quality would come to investigate. But the resident I spoke to today is very concerned, especially since 2 of his neighbor's cows have died since the derailment.
We need to know what we're dealing with so we know how to deal with it. But the alarming thing, if it's killing cows, and I'm not sure that is killing them, but it's just so unique, and very coincidental that he had 2 cows that died since derailment.
DEQ officials have not confirmed whether or not this residue came from the chemicals that spilled during last week's train derailment. For now, residents will have to wait and see what the investigation reveals. Live in the studio, Allison Bourne-Vanek, KATC TV3.
Allison, thanks. Well, in terms of road closures in Lawtell, the right lane remains closed on Highway 190 west between Highways 35 and 104, right near Frank Road. The DOTD says the lane could possibly reopen as early as tomorrow. We'll keep you posted.
Eunice police now say it wasn't a bomb left behind after a bank robbery, and they are still searching for a suspect. Investigators say a Hispanic man robbed the Basile State Bank on West Maple Avenue around 10 o'clock this morning. As he got away, police say the suspect dropped what they called an object with wires. No one was evacuated. Call Eunice police if you have any information on this morning's robbery.
A man wanted in connection with a beating last week near Ville Platte is in jail tonight. Investigators say Craig Fontenot had been hiding in the Oakdale area. Investigators say he's one of 4 suspects accused of attacking a man and stealing money from him at a convenience store. All 4 suspects face robbery and even attempted murder charges.
St. Martinville police are asking for your help finding a missing man. 56-year-old John Baptiste is considered to be a welfare concern. He's 6 feet tall and 165 pounds. He was last seen on Friday. Call St. Martinville police if you have seen him. Medical records of 20 injured students are off limits in the negligent homicide trial of a high-profile bus accident in St. Landry Parish. The Third Circuit Court of Appeal making that ruling today. Police say kindergartner Karen Stute died after the 18-wheeler driven by David Cox slammed into her bus in December of 2010. Cox could face 2 to 5 years behind bars without probation if convicted on the negligent homicide charge.
And it is that time of year tomorrow. Lafayette Parish students will be headed back to school, and 200 of those students will be entering new schools for the first time after transferring from academically unacceptable schools.
Those schools are Alice Boucher and J.W. Falk, and they will be losing 100 students each. Those students will be divided among 3 schools. Prairie Elementary will be taking in the most students with an estimated 90, Austin with the next highest number, and Karen Crow Heights will be taking in at least 30 students. With the first bell just hours away, is the school board prepared for the transfer? KATC's Alex Sabat spoke to board members who say they're ready for this blessing in disguise.
At the Lafayette Parish School Board today, everyone is busy crunching the numbers, making sure the 3 schools set to receive the 200 transfer students don't get overwhelmed.
We're taking that into account at all 3 schools, making sure we stay within the recommended limits with a little bit of cushion with we don't know who's going to show up tomorrow and who isn't.
And while the schools losing the students may be deemed academically unacceptable, some members of the school board view the smaller class sizes as a good thing.
The superintendent actually shared with us this morning he does see this as an opportunity for the students that remain at Alice Boucher and J.W. Falk to have lower class sizes, which is really what they need right now.
Angela Morrison says one of the hurdles in transferring the students is families with multiple children in the system. Because of the small window of opportunity to make the choice to transfer, some families were faced with a very tough decision.
Because of that, they had to probably move pretty quickly, and especially families that have more than 1 child at a certain school or in a certain school zone. You know, that was a pretty big decision that a family had to make.
Those that did make the decision to transfer may see some wait times to get to and from school, but the board assures parents wherever the students have decided to go, they'll get them there safe and sound.
We've actually certified 2 buses that can actually handle some of the overflow and operate those 2 schools for us.
In Lafayette, I'm Alex Labat for KATC TV3.
Parents of potential transfer students who have not been notified whether or not they're allowed to transfer are asked to call the school board at 521-RIDE.
And still ahead right here at 6 o'clock, a new program for aspiring nurses will soon be available in Lafayette. We've got details on that at 6:19, but first, it's never too early to think about the rest of the week and even the weekend. Rob's back with his full forecast right after this.
week on Wheel.
Monday through Saturday at 6:30 on KATC.
Shooters is having its 12-month interest-free sale. Over 3,000 handguns, rifles, shotguns, and tactical weapons. Shooters has a large archery department featuring the area's most trusted archery techs. You'll find the largest selection of quality hunting clothes, boots, and waders by Browning, Drake, Mossy Oak, Lacrosse, and Muck Boots. It only happens once a year. That's Shooters No Money Down 12 months interest-free sale.
Lafayette Shooters, where outdoor fun begins.
On the corner of Ambassador and Johnston.
Hello, I'm Kevin Davis.
And I'm Ken Graham. Hurricane season is underway.
Are you ready? Get a game plan to help keep you and your family safe. Make sure your family has an emergency plan and knows how to get information when a tropical system threatens Louisiana.
Remember, Hurricane Isaac proved it's not about what category a storm is. We need to listen to the impacts, such as storm surge, heavy rain, river flooding, and tornadoes.
Together, we can be prepared.
Together, we can be ready for hurricane season.
Go to getagameplan.org for the information you need.
At Courtesy Automotive, we believe you can never have too many options, so we're putting everything on sale.
Let Courtesy Dodge in Breaux Bridge get $12,000 off MSRP on every single 2013 Ram 1500 Bighorn Edition in stock during our model year-end sales event.
This presentation of KATC Weather is brought to you by Courtesy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located off I-10 in Breaux Bridge. Visit the newest Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership in the area today, off I-10 in Breaux Bridge, or visit courtesyram.com.
From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Another day with high heat. Good news is not quite as hot. A good chance of storms in the forecast. Slightly drier and, dare we say, a little bit cooler as we head into the weekend, but it will be short-lived. Plus the tropics still staying active, and it looks like we'll have a weak player, we'll call it that, in the Gulf of Mexico by the end of the week. More on that in just a bit. First off, though, as we take a look at Power Doppler HD, most of us pretty quiet this afternoon, but it's kind of stormy across central portions of Louisiana, edging to the east-southeast. Activity just north of Baton Rouge. Storms heading this way, so if you have travel plans off to the east, expect showers and storms this evening. And because of the activity and the frontal boundary off to the north of us, we got to go with some rain chances into the evening hours tonight, overnight tonight, and a good chance of storms in the forecast for tomorrow. So let's put the radar satellite, let's go to Titan. I just want to show you these thunderstorm clusters producing locally very heavy downpours, cloud-to-ground lightning, and thunderstorm tops up to about 50,000 feet. But these storms are starting to weaken right now, but they will stay in the mix overnight tonight. And again, with daytime heating tomorrow, a good chance of storms. So now let's put the radar satellite composite in motion. We can see our frontal boundary tied to a low pressure system up in Canada, and that's dragging a frontal boundary to the south. Now, no, we're not expecting cooler weather, but not quite as hot weather after this frontal trough gets down into the Gulf of Mexico by Thursday into Friday. Between now and then, as we indicated, the risk of scattered storms overnight tonight, and then a good chance of storms tomorrow with some locally heavy downpours, gusty winds, a pretty good bet as well. Today, another day in the mid-90s, 96 the high in Lafayette. I think we're going to be done with the mid-90s for the next week to 10 days, so good news there. No records being threatened, and our normals will begin to go down over the next week or two, so there's some good news there. 94 right now, feels like 104, very uncomfortable. At least we've had a breeze out of the west-southwest, gusting to 22 at this hour. And when winds are still gusty late in the day, you know, we're probably feeding storms somewhere else, and that's what we're seeing with the storms to our north. Notice Alexandria in the 90s, but now in the 70s. Most of us low to mid-90s, hotter to the west. Where the storms have been making inroads, temperatures mostly in the 70s at this hour. Meanwhile, as we go into the tropics, we continue to watch this tropical wave, a weak area of low pressure just the east of Central America. This feature is moving to the northwest. Today, we've noticed more thunderstorm activity. We do expect this to head toward the southern Gulf, but it's going to interact with this frontal boundary that is dropping to the south. So here we go on your future cast, indicating the risk of scattered storms through this evening, perhaps overnight tonight, with a few renegade showers and thunderstorms. Lots of clouds to start the day tomorrow, with a good chance of storms firing up anytime tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon. And as we indicated, gusty winds and locally heavy downpours possible, and then things hopefully quieting down by this time tomorrow evening. So on the surface map, there's that frontal boundary we're talking about. It's going to become more diffuse and eventually become a stationary boundary, but rain chances on the way down for Thursday, drier air moving in Friday, and whatever could be pushing into the the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of this tropical moisture is going to head to the northeast or to the southwest. I think we're going to be in the clear, at least for now, with this system, but still got another 6 weeks or so of prime-time tropical activity to get through. 77 the low tonight. Rain chances at about 30% overnight tonight. We'll go 60% tomorrow. We'll keep temperatures in the upper 80s thanks to the clouds, showers, and storms, and we'll favor temperatures closer to 90 as we finish off the week. And more importantly, look at those late night, early morning lows. Could be in the upper 60s. We'll take that and run in August, and then back to the heat and humidity as we go into next week with the chance of scattered storms.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob. Well, still ahead, 3 people were rescued from a helicopter in the Gulf of Mexico today, and we're in St. Martin Parish tonight for the Acadiana Kickoff Tour. We'll have all of that plus more when we return.
At Courtesy Automotive, we believe you can never have too many options, so we're putting everything on sale.
At Courtesy Dodge in Breaux Bridge, get a 2013 Chrysler 200 Touring Edition for only $18,988, and we have several to choose during our model year-end sales event.
Introducing iSofa by Rooms To Go. What does your sofa say about you?
Look at the stars up in the sky above. Tell me something you've been dreaming of. If I were to say I made it happen my way.
The custom iSofa by Rooms To Go. Design yours now online or in store and get it in days. We make it easy. You make it your own.
They found that I had 100% blockage in a couple of arteries and 80 in another one.
At CIS, they were just so attentive to Paul.
They had everything right there, you know, that's what made it so nice. Doctors were on hand, they all were so professional, and they just exuded confidence. It's made me confident.
Everybody here just made us feel so comfortable. We felt like that we were their only patient.
My name is Paul Mingarelli, and Lafayette General is my choice.
Flat folding seats plus smart slide entry. The engineering of one detail means you won't always need the other. That's professional grade. Introducing the new GMC Acadia. Now lease the 2013 GMC Acadia SLE for around $299 per month.
Visit your South Louisiana GMC dealers.
A gunman is holding 3 people hostage at a bank in Tensaw Parish. The bank is in St. Joseph, a town southeast of Monroe. State police say the man was armed with some type of automatic weapon. The FBI is now on scene. It's unknown if the hostages are all bank employees.
We've learned of a possible Acadiana connection to a helicopter that went down in the Gulf today. 3 people are safe. They were pulled from the water there when that chopper did go down. The trio was rescued about 30 miles southwest of Terrebonne Bay. The helicopter is owned by a company based out of Belle Chase. The emergency call came in from those on board the Trinity 5 rig. Now, this is a picture of the helicopter sent to us by a KATC viewer, and he tells us that helicopter was headed to Patterson in St. Mary Parish when it crashed. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
In Caddo Parish, an 82-year-old Shreveport man is accused of stabbing his niece with a steak knife to death. Deputies say Freddie Guy called 911 after he allegedly stabbed the woman while she slept. Deputies say the stabbing was the result of years of tension. The woman had multiple wounds to her upper body. Guy was booked on attempted second-degree murder charges.
Well, the Touchdown Express, a service that shuttles LSU football fans from downtown Baton Rouge over to Tiger Stadium on game days, will be back this year. It will now cost $10 for a round-trip ticket. That's up from $4 last season. And the bus company is still determining the drop-off and pickup locations. And stay right there, still ahead tonight at 6, how you can become more prepared for hunting season with the help of a local sheriff's office.
Dine, dream, and get away at Paragon Casino Resort. Book a one-night hotel stay for just $75 and get a $25 dining credit. Paragon Casino Resort in nearby Marksville. Come see the way Louisiana plays.
This summer, toughness has a name. Determination has a face. Heroes have an identity. Ford Super Duty. Go to extremes. Now, during the Ford Summer Spectacular, get $5,500 total cash back on Ford Super Duty. Now playing at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
You know what's hot in the food world? Waffles and Southern fried chicken on the same plate. Well, since I am the ambassador of Southern cooking, I have transformed chicken and waffles into an all-in-one meal with my new Popeyes chicken waffle tenders. All white meat tenders marinated in my Louisiana spices and then handcrafted with a light, crispy waffle coating. With fries, a biscuit, and my honey maple dipping sauce for just $4.99. Honey, this is a meal that will make your mama shout.
Louisiana fast. With our Cox bundle, the football game goes where I go. That's what I call mobility.
Football in the car. Portability.
Watching my game on the go, reading my home voicemail. Paul, your grill is on fire. Oh, no. Randy, can I borrow your hose?
Sure.
It's immaturity, Randy.
Upgrade to a Cox bundle and get TV on the go, supercharged in-home Wi-Fi, and readable voicemail starting as low as $99.99 a month, guaranteed for 2 years, plus free pro install.
Football season is here, so come join the winning team at Sterling Buick GMC for great deals like these. How about a 2013 Denali Yukon XL? Take $8,000 off. How about a 2013 GMC four-wheel drive crew cab? We call it the Sterling Edition. Take $12,000 off. A 2013 Buick Verano gets 32 miles to the gallon. You pay only $21,990. And come check out the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra. We have plenty in stock. So go deep and score big savings at the all-new Sterling Buick GMC in Opelousas.
At Paragon Casino Resort, gear up for our $110,000 cash and TV kickoff. Score a home theater system or cash prizes up to the $15,000 grand prizes. Paragon Casino Resort in nearby Marksville. Come see the way Louisiana plays.
If you want to become a registered nurse, you can now consider SLCC as an option to get your degree. Lafayette General, Lourdes, Women's and Children's Hospitals, and Leda have put up $500,000 to fund that program. Plans for a new building on campus are in the works to house the school, and officials are saying sending current students elsewhere is no longer necessary.
They all want to become RNs. So now, instead of being on a huge waiting list somewhere else in the state, having to move out of state, or ultimately never achieving that dream, they can do it right here at home.
And officials are aiming to start that new program by next spring.
Well, it's never too early to think about safety for hunting season, and the St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office will be offering hunter education classes this fall. Now, there's no fee to attend these classes. However, pre-registration is required, and there's a limit of 50 students per class. You can call the number right there on your screen for more information, or we should have that as well as KATC.com.
Well, the Acadiana Kickoff Tour rolls on. Sports is up next.
KATC's Safe Families Report is brought to you by Home Bank.
It's hot outside, but it's cool in here. At Moss Honda, with zero due at signing lease. Drive a Honda Civic for only $210 per month. The 2013 Odysseys have got to go. Take one on vacay for only $310 a month. We have over 100 Accords in stock. Get one today for $199 per month. And remember, at Moss, you're the boss.
Healthcare reform is bringing change.
But one thing that won't change is our commitment to you.
We're Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana.
We're a not-for-profit company, and we work for you.
And whatever changes come our way, you can count on us.
Count on us to pay your claims.
To answer your questions.
To give you the service you deserve.
You can count on us to be there when you need us.
That's our promise to you.
To get more answers on healthcare reform, visit us at bcbsla.com/healthcare reform.
Yahoo News, together now with ABC News. It's time to see the whole picture. ABC Sunday, when their secrets revealed.
I haven't been 100% honest with you.
Lives will be changed.
I'm a millionaire.
And I have a check for $100,000.
Secret Millionaire, all new Sunday at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Buttress Jewelers knows that your jewelry was meant to be worn. So when you snag it, break it, smash it, knot it, tarnish it, can't wear it, or just don't like it, Buttress can solder it, restring it, rebuild it, unknot it, polish it, resize it, or replace it with their team of master bench jewelers, watch repairmen, and one-of-a-kind selection. Buttress Jewelers, because your jewelry was meant to be worn.
At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, you can choose from 12 different vehicles that get 30 miles per gallon or more. And one of those is the Chevy Cruze. The spacious, safe, fuel-saving Cruise is the best compact car for any family. It offers 26 miles per gallon city, 36 highway, and comes with 10 standard airbags to protect your most precious cargo. Shop our huge selection, the Chevy Cruise, on sale now at Service Chevrolet Cadillac, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey near I-10. Chevrolet, find new roads.
There are several Cajuns you can point to as the main culprits behind UL's offensive explosion under head coach Mark Hudspeth. Conventional wisdom says the quarterbacks or maybe even a receiver or running back, but maybe the biggest reason why the Cajuns continue to light up the scoreboard are the big guys up front. It's a new beginning of sorts for that offensive line. The core four of the Cajuns O-line the last 2 years is split in half, with Andre Huval and Daniel Quave returning for a third season. Michael Quave has made a seamless transition to left tackle, with newcomers Octavian Anderson and Terry Johnson rounding out the Hogs. But when you talk about the guys up front, much of their as well as the team's success relies on the lone senior and former STM Cougar.
He's another coach on the field, and Coach Rod has done such a tremendous job with Andre. Andre can tell everybody in our line what to do and how to do it, and he knows all the looks. He studies film, he studies the defenses.
Speaking of offensive lines, LSU's will once again feature an Acadiana Tiger. West St. Mary's Gerald Hawkins has become a hot name in Baton Rouge this summer. The redshirt freshman has ascended to starting right tackle and has drawn rave reviews from head coach Les Miles.
We really think that Hawkins has had as quality a camp to this point as anybody.
It's been just great. I take each day as a great learning experience, a great thing to improve at.
He may well be, one of those very, very talented offensive linemen that can really play.
The injury bug continues to bite for the Saints. Today, another receiver goes down with special teams ace Courtney Roby suffering a toe injury in practice. He had to be helped off the field, but with the bad news comes some good. Pierre Thomas, Martez Wilson, and Junior Gillette all dressed out and participated in some form during the closed morning drills. The Saints host the Raiders Friday. Today's stop on the kickoff tour takes us to Cecilia, where the Bulldogs are hoping to rebound after a tough fall last season. Terry Martin's boys will be a young bunch again, and progress during training camp crucial for the Dogs to improve on last year's 1-8 record. Head coach Terry Martin likes the potential in a core group of sophomores down the road and believes with the right direction from a small senior group, that future could be now.
We're going to probably start a bunch of young guys this year. We dressed 10 to 14 freshmen last year when we hardly ever dressed freshmen before. And there's a chance that 7 or 8 of those guys are going to start on Friday night. But I still think it comes down to this senior group. How good are they going to be as far as being leaders, but how good are they going to be when things go wrong?
Also of note, LSUE women's basketball hires new head coach Yolanda Moore, two-time Houston Comets WNBA champion and All-American at Ole Miss. They signed her, and also the Lafayette Little League, the Junior League, a step up from the Little League that we see on ESPN. The same group that went to the World Series 2 years ago, they're back at it, the World Series in this Junior League, 2-0 right now. They play Tennessee tonight, looking to go to 3-0 and possibly get that World Championship that eluded them 2 years ago.
Fantastic. Thank you, Travis. Rob?
Looking forward to that, and maybe slightly cooler air as we get toward the weekend. We'll have to wait and see on that. Count on a pretty good chance of storms tomorrow, even some storms tonight, so don't be surprised by that first day of school. A little wet and stormy to start, but by the weekend, a little bit drier.
Okay,
Alrighty, thank you, Rob. Well, that's it for 6, everybody. Join us tonight at 10 o'clock.
Until then, make it a great night and stay cool out there.